open D tuning, capo on the 2nd fret. So pretending there's no capo, the notes are D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. So with the capo on 2nd fret, it should sound like this. And as with anything I ever play or teach people how to play, I don't know if this is how she actually plays it because I learned it by ear. I'm pretty sure for parts of it, but not all of it. So this is a tutorial for how I play it. So the first part, which is kind of the main part of the song, it's going to be, so 2nd and 3rd finger on the 2nd fret, A string and E string. You're going to hit that A string on the 2nd fret, strum, and then hit that open E string. So you'll strum, take that finger off and hit it. And that's kind of the strumming pattern for most of the verse. So that, move it to the 4th and 2nd fret. So 4th on the A, 2nd on the E. And it's easiest to do that with the 3rd finger. You're hitting that A string twice, just on that one. So then you move it up to the 5th and 4th. But this one you're gonna go. So 5th, strum, then hit it on that's the B string twice, then open, so. And you don't have to be super precise about hitting that, you know, like, it's kind of more like a strum. It's kind of like an easy feel. It's fun to play. So this chord is going to be 2nd and 3rd finger on the E and A string of the 5th fret, and your pinky is actually going to go down to the B string on the 5th fret. So it's all 5th fret like this. And you can't play it like this, even though it'd be easier, because there's a little like ornamentation thing she does with the 1st finger sometimes that I think sounds cool and I think is pretty important. So after the whole that, and then she'll take the pinky off that B string. My bad, I said B string here. It's a G string. So she'll take that off the G string and then put her pointer finger on the D string on the 4th fret. And that's kind of the transition she'll use sometimes to go back into the main riff. So. And that strumming pattern there is just down, down, up. So then the 2nd time through, it's pretty much the same thing. So, except for this, instead of going, she'll go. And that's it's gonna be with your 1st and 3rd finger on the 4th and 5th fret on the E string. It's. And you can't use your 2nd finger because it's busy with the bass note, so it'll be. It sucks a little bit, but I don't know, deal with it. And that's pretty much the whole verse with the exception of the last line. It's 2 4-line verses. So she'll do on the last line of the verse, instead of going back to that, she'll take that chord here on the E, A, and G and just move it up 2 frets to the 7th, and it's all downstrokes. And what you're gonna do is take your second and third finger, put them together on the second fret. One's gonna be on the A string, one's gonna be on the B. So, and you're gonna take that and move it from 2 to 4 to 5 in that same shape. So, and then you're gonna land back on that chord on the 5th fret. So the last half of the verses, I guess, will be. Yeah, and those are the verses. And then the chorus is just that same chord pretty much. So put it on the 7th fret. It's the whole chorus, alternating between those two. And the only thing that's really different besides the little outro is that sometimes when she's coming back into the verses from the chorus, she'll do like a little quick stop with the band that sounds really cool. So she'll go. So what she's doing there is she'll go from here to that. Take that pinky off the G and put the first finger on the D on the 4th. And the stop is replacing the initial picking of that string. So instead of going, you're going pause. She just kind of throws that in. I don't know specifically when she does it. I saw her play once and she did it like the first one coming out of the first chorus. But she'll throw it around whenever, pretty much. Depending on which tour they're on, I've seen them change it. Or I might just be totally wrong, who knows. But yeah, so that's... And from there, you're into the 3rd verse, which is just the same thing. But, yeah. And then they'll do one more chorus, and then after that chorus, they'll just kind of, they'll do another. It's the same guitar part as the verse, but just without the words. And then they'll do pretty much another chorus but without the words. And then the outro. It's kind of interesting to where there's not like a set way she plays it or a set way to play it. But kind of the framework for it is you're going to take your second finger on the low E of the 5th fret. 5th fret of the low E, I guess, and then on the B string of the 5th fret. And that's going to be kind of your chord. And you're muting this this A string and the high E string, except for in some parts where you'll play notes, but you don't really want it open because this note is a high E, so if you have both, it sounds kind of twangy. So, and she basically slides that up to the 7th and back down. But you'll hear her like playing with different like ornamentations and stuff. So I guess the ones I play are a couple of them, or she'll slide up, and she'll take her pinky, pinky, and move it up to the 9th, move it back down. And then on the 5th fret, sometimes she'll take her pointer finger and put it on the 4th fret on the high E, which is the same note. Or sometimes she'll take her 3rd finger off and replace it with this 1st finger on the 4th on the B. And like do like an alternating thing. It really just depends. You kind of just have to figure out what you want to do, because she'll do whatever. So what I normally end up doing is something like this. And no matter what you end up doing or holding there, you just end it on a open, all open, because it's tuned to an open chord, so you can just... So I guess kind of the basic framework would be, so she starts off with the verse part. Then it goes into the first, like, oh, God and Slug. And that part lines up like, same as every day. So it kind of lands on the end of like the 4-bar verse. Not bar, 4, I don't know, line verse. And she'll just repeat that again for the second verse. And then the chorus is just... That part's really more about the vocal part and the lyrics and the emotion. But then she'll go back into another, with or without the pause, and then there's another verse, another chorus, and then another, like, it's an instrumental part, but it's basically a verse and a chorus that you're playing, and then she'll do the outro. And that is how I play the song. I fully realize that I can't do tutorials. I'm a bad teacher, so if you have any questions, let me know, I guess. And yeah.